Not long after finishing the final scenes of Outlander, Sam Heughan unexpectedly became the center of attention when participating in a live interview on the show Actors Truth, a famous program specializing in exploiting the hidden corners of movie stars. Here, Sam revealed for the first time what he called the most memorable mistake of his acting career, a moment when he punched too hard in a scene when Caitriona Balfe was pregnant. The audience was silent when the host asked frankly, "Sam, is there anything you wish you had done differently when working with Caitriona?" Sam chuckled, but it was the laugh of someone remembering something both funny and regretful. He leaned back in his chair, touching his chin as if considering where to start. "Yes. A lot. But there's one thing I've never talked about publicly, because I still feel guilty about it to this day." He exhales. "That time I accidentally punched Caitriona in the shoulder too hard, when she was pregnant." The room buzzes. The host is surprised. "Really? Can you elaborate?" The fateful scene from season 7? Sam begins to explain the circumstances of the incident. It was an intense scene from season 7, when Jamie and Claire had a heated argument in the middle of the night, a dramatic scene that required intense emotion and physical action. Jamie was scripted to rush forward, grab Claire by the shoulder, pull her back, and berate her in anger. It was all carefully choreographed, with a safety team standing by. "We practiced a lot," Sam says. "I knew Caitriona was 4 months pregnant, and the whole crew was very careful. But when it came to the actual scene, the adrenaline was too fast. I got into character, the emotions were high, and I squeezed her shoulder too hard. Not a real punch, but the impact was too strong." Caitriona did not scream or stop at that time. She still performed the entire scene with a pained and determined look in her eyes, causing the whole studio to be silent with emotion. It was only when the director shouted, "Cut!" that everyone realized that Sam's hand was still tightly squeezing Caitriona's shoulder, which had begun to bruise slightly. Caitriona. I don't blame him, but immediately after the incident, the crew immediately stopped filming to check on Caitriona's health. Fortunately, the baby was completely fine and Caitriona was not seriously injured. But what makes Sam feel guilty to this day is her attitude at that time. She just looked at me, smiled and said, "Don't worry. I'm fine," but there was something in her eyes that made me want to turn back time. Caitriona later spoke to the press about the incident, but did not blame Sam at all. She called it an occupational hazard of two people getting too into character. However, in a podcast dedicated to mothers in the entertainment industry, she also frankly expressed, "I don't blame Sam. I know he loves his job and he's always been protective of me. But when you're pregnant, your body and your emotions are 100 times more sensitive. A strong touch can make you cry." The second time, and Sam's silent atonement. Surprisingly, the incident didn't just happen once. In season 8, when Caitriona was pregnant with her second child, a horseback riding scene in the Windy Hills put the two of them in a similar tense situation. Caitriona was sitting behind me, and it was my job to help her get off the horse safely. But the horse, as fate would have it, suddenly panicked because of fake gunfire. I lost my balance, and Caitriona fell with me. We both fell to the ground. This time, Sam didn't wait for help. He picked Caitriona up and ran to the ambulance. And for the next 2 days, he didn't leave the hospital, even though doctors had confirmed that both mother and child were fine. He sat in the waiting chair all night, didn't sleep, didn't eat, Caitriona said in a post-birth interview. The first time, he squeezed my shoulder. The second time, he squeezed my hand, and never let go. I punched too hard, because I loved the character too much and believed in my own invincibility too much. On the Actors Truth show, Sam concluded the story with an emotional confession. I punched too hard. Not just physically, but mentally. I wasn't sensitive enough to recognize the limits of a woman who is carrying a life. I learned a valuable lesson. Acting should never come at the expense of the safety of a co-star. especially when that person is your best friend, a great mother. When asked if he and Caitriona remain close after all this, Sam smiled. She forgave me more than once. And that's why, to this day, even though we're no longer Jamie and Claire, I'm still the first person Caitriona calls when she needs someone by her side. The silent protector behind the scenes. Since those two unwanted occupational accidents, Sam Heughan has completely changed his approach to Caitriona Balfe during work. No longer the emotional co-star who threw, pushed, or argued fiercely in front of the camera, he transformed himself into a silent protector behind the spotlight. Even the director of Outlander Season 8 had to admit, Sam seems to have developed a personal radar system. Every time Caitriona just frowned, glanced, or touched her back, he immediately knew what she needed. Backstage, he always checked Caitriona's seat before each scene, making sure her chair was padded, and there was warm water or ginger tea next to it. He requested a large umbrella just to shade Caitriona when filming outdoors, a request that moved the entire production team to silence. When Caitriona gets out of the car each morning, Sam is always the first one there to greet her. Not a big show, but a quiet, subtle presence, as if he's trying to make amends with every little thing. I don't want to be the one to cause her any more pain, whether physical or emotional, Sam shares. When co-stars become family, and empathy transcends the screen, it's not just about the physical actions. Sam also learns to step back, a difficult lesson for an actor used to leading with emotion. When a woman is pregnant, you have to adjust not only how you touch, but how you listen, he says. There are days when Caitriona comes to set, her face tired, her mood unstable. Before, I would joke, tease, pull her out of that emotion with my energy. But now, I simply sit next to her and be silent. Sometimes, silence is the clearest way to show support. For Caitriona, this is more than just caring. It is deep empathy from a man who is considered the ideal male role model. In an exclusive interview with Variety magazine, she shared, Sam not only learned how to take care of me, he learned how to enter a very feminine emotional world without fear. He proved that the greatest strength is daring to slow down, daring to step aside to let others shine, especially when that person is carrying life in their womb. Offset moments. Sam and the little wooden crib. One of the lesser-known behind-the-scenes stories is that Sam personally gifted Caitriona an oak crib, which he had made himself during a break between filming episodes of Season 8. He didn't give her any notice, and he didn't make a video to post on social media. He just quietly placed the crib in Caitriona's back room with a handwritten note. For a child who will grow up with love, and for a mother I will always trust. The crib was hand-carved with ancient Celtic symbols, symbols of life, rebirth and protection. When Caitriona received the gift, she burst into tears. She once told a talk show that it was the most touching gift of my life as a mother. It's not just a thing, she said. It's an apology, it's protection, and it's a piece of Sam's soul for my child. So where did that friendship go? Although Outlander has officially ended, and both have gone on to their own separate career journeys, Sam and Caitriona's friendship remains intact, and has even deepened through the ups and downs of their careers. At a recent BAFTA awards ceremony, when Caitriona was honored for her directorial debut, Sam was the first to stand up and applaud, eyes full of pride. After the show, a reporter accidentally caught Sam helping Caitriona carry the baby to the car. When asked why he still stays by her side like that, he just smiled, because I used to hit too hard, so now, I choose to walk lightly, go slowly, and always be there for her when she needs me. A friendship that transcends time, or something more. Fans have long speculated whether there is something deeper between them than friendship. But neither has ever confirmed it. The only thing they confirmed was, we trust each other, care for each other, and no one can replace the other on this journey. Perhaps, in the world of Hollywood full of gossip and suspicion, such a solid feeling is precious enough to not need a name.